From champion to free agent, Sariah, still known as Paige in many fans' minds, shook the wrestling world the moment word broke of her departure from AEW. People instantly assumed she'd waltz right back into WWE, confident the company that once made her a star would open its doors without question. But as new rumors swirl about backstage tension, uncertain medical tests, and outside business ventures, it appears there's a lot more to her story than just a nostalgic homecoming. Before we dissect the possible future, it's worth remembering how Sariah became such a phenomenon in the first place. She didn't just pop up on the main WWE roster and grab attention. She practically changed the game for women's wrestling. Coming from a family steeped in the business, she began performing as a teenager, earning a reputation for her fierce in-ring style and fiery promos. WWE signed her when she was still young, and she quickly became a linchpin in NXT, spearheading a movement that shifted women from side attractions to main event headliners. When she made that main roster debut and snatched the Divas Championship from AJ Lee in shocking fashion, she was heralded as the new face of a revolution that would eventually reshape how fans view women in the ring. But that spark didn't guarantee a smooth ride. A neck injury halted her momentum, leading to a forced retirement that seemed permanent. WWE's doctors insisted the risk of her wrestling was too high. Though she remained under contract for a while, serving in on-screen roles, the environment grew tense. The regime at the time was wary about clearing anyone who could be a liability. So when her contract ended, many saw it as the final chapter of her in-ring career, at least under the WWE umbrella. Then AEW stepped in with an opportunity. They brought her aboard in 2022, and through their medical evaluations, she got cleared to compete again. That alone was massive news for fans who thought they'd never see her wrestle another match. Initially, her AEW run generated excitement. She even captured the AEW Women's Championship briefly, something that felt like a fairy tale comeback. Yet rumors soon emerged that she wasn't meshing perfectly with the locker room. Some insiders claimed that while there was no direct feud with other talent, she never truly clicked with AEW's style or schedule. Others whispered that she had creative differences about where her character was heading. On her podcast, she downplayed any drama, simply saying she thought she was taking up space that a younger, fresher name deserved. Still, speculation about internal friction hasn't died down. There's talk that she didn't get along with a couple of rising women's stars behind the scenes, possibly fueling her decision to part ways. When she revealed on Rule Breakers with Sariah that her AEW deal was ending, the timing surprised nearly everyone. While Tony Khan has been more flexible lately in letting wrestlers move on, many assumed he'd try harder to keep a performer with Sariah's star power. She was, after all, a big name capable of attracting mainstream wrestling fans who might not otherwise tune in. Yet sources close to AEW say that during her hiatus, she showed less interest in continuing a consistent wrestling schedule. She requested time off to explore personal ventures, and it looks like AEW ultimately decided it was best to let her walk. This, of course, kicked off the biggest rumor of all, her triumphant return to WWE. Fans everywhere pointed out that Edge, known now as Adam Copeland, overcame severe neck problems and found his way back to a WWE ring. If he could do it, so could she. But spinal injuries are all different, and while some doctors might give the nod to an in-ring return, WWE's standards are notoriously strict, especially since lawsuits and long-term health complications are a real concern. That caution is only part of the equation, though. WWE now boasts the most stacked women's division it has ever had. Names like Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair are already battling for top spots, and NXT continues to churn out new talent hungry for a chance on Raw or SmackDown. Bringing Sariah back would certainly generate buzz, but the company has to figure out where she fits into the storylines without overshadowing wrestlers who've been grinding for that same spotlight. Rumors also suggest that if she does return to WWE, it might not be strictly as an in-ring competitor. She's well-spoken, comfortable on camera, and no stranger to authority figure roles. Remember when she served as general manager for SmackDown? Some think she could step into a backstage or ambassador role, or even manage a younger talent who needs a star mentor. Others believe she might appear on NXT for cameo matches that won't push her medically to the limit. No one has a clear sense of WWE's plans, but the door is reportedly always open for her if both sides agree on the terms. Meanwhile, there's chatter that Sariah might do something completely different. Since leaving AEW, she's been vocal about wanting to expand her presence beyond wrestling. Her podcast continues to grow, and there are whispers of a reality show concept featuring her family or a potential business venture focusing on women in sports. People close to her mention she's had offers for brand collaborations that have nothing to do with stepping between the ropes. The notion is that she could leverage her fame and fan base in new industries where her health isn't perpetually on the line. Others wonder if she'll appear in smaller promotions, Impact or overseas in Japan. TNA, though smaller, has a reputation for giving legendary names creative freedom. If Sariah wants to wrestle less frequently but still keep her foot in the ring, that option might appeal to her. Certain fans speculate she could pop up for high-profile matches in Japan, particularly in promotions looking to break into the global market by featuring known Western stars. That scenario becomes especially intriguing when you factor in potential dream matches with top international talents. However, it all depends on how cautious she's being with her body. Even a single wrong bump could be career-ending, and it's not clear if that risk still lingers. Part of what fuels all this is her undeniable star power. She was an integral piece of the puzzle that took women's wrestling from filler segments to the main event. Her story is one of overcoming medical obstacles and personal turmoil, making her a magnet for attention. That's why so many fans assume any major promotion would scramble to sign her. They know she draws eyes and, more importantly, emotions. She has a built-in fan base that followed her ups and downs, from the glory of WWE championships to the heartbreak of retiring too soon, only to see her reignite that dream in AEW. This level of intrigue isn't easy to create, and whichever company secures her next appearance, if she chooses to wrestle, stands to benefit immensely. Not everything is sunshine, though. Her personal life has been very public, sometimes overshadowing her accomplishments in the ring. Controversies, leaked footage, and social media feuds have made headlines over the years. She's never shied away from addressing these challenges, but the gossip mills can be relentless. WWE might be cautious about that element too, considering how protective they are of their brand image. At the same time, pro wrestling has always woven real-life drama into on-screen storylines, so it's possible they see that personal turbulence as a tool to generate even more buzz. A few sources are even whispering that Sariah wants to develop a wrestling school, focusing on female performers and offering them guidance that goes beyond what the average training camp provides. It's a rumor that popped up after fans noticed she started collaborating with well-known trainers. If that's true, it might explain why she told AEW management she didn't fit in anymore. Maybe her true calling is to help mold a new generation rather than fight for TV time. Leaving AEW on good terms would free her to pursue such a goal without being locked into a rigorous travel schedule or monthly pay-per-view demands. Still, the biggest question remains: what will she do next? And is there any real shot of her re-signing with WWE right now? The old regime that released her is gone, replaced by a team that once tried to coax her back. Triple H, known to appreciate wrestlers with unique talent and history, might be open to a new arrangement if they can iron out the medical details and find a storyline that benefits all parties. She does have the advantage of being a proven commodity, somebody who's headlined major shows and captured an audience's attention from the moment her music hits. That alone makes her a valuable piece in any roster puzzle. Yet she might not hurry into a deal, especially if her body still needs rest, or if she's focusing on growing that podcast brand or launching a separate venture entirely. Anyone hoping for a last-minute surprise at the next WWE event could be disappointed. And as of now, no reliable source has confirmed any negotiations are underway. She might choose to hold out, negotiate from a position of strength, or simply relish a break from the constant noise of weekly wrestling commitments.